Hi, my name is Robin Kahn. Welcome to Animal Talk. We're so excited. We have a wonderful program. I have two very great guests that you're going to learn something and you're going to enjoy. We have Dr. Sawyers.
Good evening.
Good evening. We all know East Boston, Revere, South Boston, Union Square,
keep me hopping
Somerville,
around,
keep you
right?
hopping. And Dr. Sawyers brought a wonderful guest, and this is Dr. Gambardinian, and he's from Angel.
Angel Memorial.
Yes. How did you become interested in veterinary medicine?
Well, my father is a veterinarian, so that's how I got the interest.
Is he from this area?
No, he's from Connecticut,
Oh.
and that's where I was born and raised.
And how did you end up at Angel Memorial?
Well, it started a long time ago when I first got out of veterinary school. I elected to become a specialist, and I went on to do some surgical training up in University of Minnesota. And then after that, the Angel Memorial, which is a large hospital that has a specialty, has specialists in it and specialty clinics, hired me as one of their surgeons.
Oh, that was interesting.
That's actually how I met Dr. Gambardella, was that back in '79 when I was an externing senior, he came out to the hospital that I was working at and performed a very tricky hip surgery he was the resident bone specialist
Oh,
then.
imagine that. Because I was going to
And
ask
so I
how
had
you
fun
had
learning.
known him from
That's
years
where I
ago.
met him years ago.
Yeah.
We were sitting there, because I remembered it. I don't think he actually remembered it, because
Well,
I had my mask on.
It's almost 20 years ago.
Don't say that. Yeah, I thought I was hatched to vet actually these days, but it's kind of fun to get together with an old friend.
Oh, I know. And I understand you're both going to talk about some interesting new technology.
Well, one of the neat things that Dr. Gambardella gets to be exposed to all the time over at Angel, where they have the nicest specialty hospital in Boston. Whenever I have a major problem, something I can't solve by myself, I turn to them to help me, and they've always done a wonderful job. One thing that he's been exposed to is all kinds of neat new products and technology, and I heard about this new product coming out right now from the SIVA company called Program. And when I was tracking back to try to find out more and more about this, fascinating new idea, they put me on to Paul because he'd had some extra training in the product.
Well, that's very interesting because I also went to Angel years ago before I met Dr. Sawyers. One of my cats got hit by a car. And as you know, I always had 6 or 8 animals. I was his best little patient, customer, client. And the cat was very mangled. And the only place you could go in the middle of the night was Angel. My little brother and my sister and I went there, and they didn't know whether the cat would live or die. And they called me up every day for a week, and they said, it's up to you. And my cat was in intensive care. She was already 10. She was in intensive care for 3 months. My father paid the bill. He paid cash. But my cat lived another 10 years till she was over 20, and I was never sorry for it. And she was just an ordinary cat, but I loved her so much, and it was worth everything.
Right.
And so I think
Sure
Angel
is.
is
They
wonderful.
fixed it real
Yep,
well, yeah.
they
Well,
did.
I'm glad that worked out.
Yes, I used to
Really
go
is.
and visit her once a week, and the attendants were very nice. I used to bring her special food. They probably fed her what they thought she should be fed,
Right.
but it was a good experience. That was very kind.
Of course, one problem you had in the past, having been your vet for many years, you know what you've had a big problem with, young lady?
Fleas.
Yes,
Oh,
I
it's
would
terrible.
send home tons of flea products to this whole household of hers. And that actually brings us to this new product. It's called Program. Imagine giving something once a month that will help to keep your flea population at a minimum. Since you had a little more exposure, why don't you chat about it a little bit? Here, have a pill.
Yeah, this is really it's a revolutionary product. It's a breakthrough product because it's really the first once-a-month pill that's given to control fleas. There were some there were oral flea products years and years ago.
They were
that
more to actually kill the flea
Right,
actively, more
that's
toxic
right.
too.
They were insecticides that kill the fleas. This product does not kill adult fleas. It controls the flea population by not allowing the flea eggs to hatch. And it's a very, very safe product. It's absolutely safe for dogs and cats.
Oh, okay.
And given
Use this
once a
for
month.
cats now?
Yes, the cat product is not on the market yet.
Okay.
My understanding is it's soon, but the company doesn't
soon
know
can
when.
mean anything.
Yeah. And that will be in the form of a liquid. But for dogs, it's a tablet.
Can you give this to a little puppy too?
Yes.
They actually
Yes.
have 4 sizes. They have from 0 to 10, and then 11 till 20, 21 to 45, and 45 to 90, if I
Right.
remember correctly.
So if you had a dog that was 200 pounds
There's
or
also
150,
one-
you'd have to give him 2
The
pills.
companies are getting smarter. Like I'm, with the heartworm pills, they have once a month. They have little hearts that go on your calendar.
Yes.
These tablets, based on the size, they're actually color coded. They have yellow ones, they have red ones, and white ones, and they also, again, much like the heartworm pills, where they have little, cute little hearts to put on your
Hearts, yeah.
calendar. These have little yellow fleas to stick on your calendar to remind you when to give it. Now, one thing different with the heartworm pills, from what I've read and understand, you can give them, and you can be a couple days off one way or the other, but that doesn't matter that much. From what I understand about this new product, though, is pretty important. You had to give it every 31, 32 days, and you had to give this one on a full meal, on a full stomach, also.
Yes, it's given in conjunction with or shortly after a meal, and it can last for, I think, 32 days.
32. That's
So
correct.
once a month, every 30, bites the dog after that, then the eggs that flea lays will no longer hatch.
Do you have to still do your other flea protection, like the flea collar and the spray, in conjunction with this?
Well, it's not absolutely essential, but if you have a flea problem, adult flea problem,
Yes.
then it would be a good idea to use the flea control products that are out to kill the adult fleas. And the new eggs that hatch that haven't been yet made unhatchable by this product, they're going to hatch. So until that cycle is broken,
Okay.
you may want to use either the baths or
You've got to do something to kill the
sprays,
fleas.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's like-
That's what I
that
was,
sort of thing.
yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
this is, this product, I think, is going to, be wonderful, but it's got to be used properly. I mean, that's where I've heard that it's important to have that meal and to give it on time, as close as possible to 32 days, 31, 32 days. But you're still going to have to use your more classical sprays or the products you put on the outside of the animal to kill external fleas. Now, the greatest thing I see is that long term, where you used to have 2 or 3 fleas that became 250,000 fleas in a
Yes,
month's time,
that's right.
and you have this house just jumping left and right. These days, with this product, you won't have that problem. You might have, you go outside for a walk on the beach or in the park, and have a few jump on the dog, but, they won't be infesting the houses the way they used to. There used to be
Right.
all kinds of
Yeah,
problems.
because I told people about this, and I don't know how many people were so excited
Right.
because
No,
they
there's
had the
been a lot
same
of
problem.
excitement.
And as I said, when I had 6 or 8 animals,
Hmm.
it was an incredible problem, bringing back and forth. So I,
I think
can
we had
see
to
this.
burn your house once and rebuild it?
Practically,
Just about, yeah.
yes.
Every,
As I recall.
every
Yeah.
pet in the house, dog and cat, must be on it. Because if there's a pet in the house that does not have the product in them, those fleas can lay viable eggs. So it is important that every dog and every cat in the household be on the product
Okay.
in order to completely control the environment, control the flea problem.
Yeah, 'cause that's
And
what I
even
was
some, I
wondering.
remember reading on some of the literature that even some of the eggs that might hatch, many of them will die at the first larval stage. Now, remember the life cycle of fleas. You start off with an egg. Have you got that memorized yet, Robin?
Well, almost.
Oh, almost, yeah. You start off with an egg, and then you go on into a larval form when that egg hatches. The larval form then forms a cocoon, a little pupae, which is like a little bomb shelter. That's the hardest stage for any of the products on the market to kill, and then that hatches out into an adult. And so the most effective control is those products that actually break that life cycle. Giving a flea bath and that's all is relatively worthless when you have a few numbers. So you have to use sprays that will prevent eggs from hatching and sprays to kill the animals in the house. And this is going to be just wonderful at preventing long-term problems.
Because
these
a lot of people
infestations.
are even trying natural products. They have their animals eating garlic. And I was trying to think of a few
They're all,
of the other
really,
things.
those
that
things
people
are of
recommend.
some effectiveness, but they're in the 30% for effectiveness. Or I remember the old garlic for the worms and
Yes,
stuff.
yes.
And these products, the company claims it's 99.9% effective. Now, I'm sure it's going to be 99.8, but
Yeah.
whatever,
That's right.
it's
No,
pretty good.
Yeah, there's been extensive testing. In fact, this product has been on the market in 25 other countries for the past 4 years, so there's a lot of experience. It just recently got through the USDA, the FDA, the
They
United
protect
States
us pretty
FDA.
thoroughly, yeah.
And but the testing has been extensive. So this product's had the test of time already. It's not a new experimental thing.
There was something else neat about it, wasn't it? That it was less toxic than table salt. Didn't they have an EPA registration as well as the DEA?
My
or
understanding is
FDA rather?
this is the only product in which the FDA has allowed labeling to say that that has no side effects. It can be given
hard to get these
it can be
days.
given
That's
to
right.
6 and 8 week old animals, and it can be given to pregnant females and nursing mothers.
Oh, that's
That's right, and there's no precautions for disposal. Many of the products that I use to kill fleas, and they're very safe, but you'll always see in
See
the
a
back
little label in red.
wrap and store away from open heat, and wrap it in do not reuse empty container, put in original layers of newspaper and discard in trash. And so they're some of the chemicals we're putting in the environment, I'm sure they're safe, but that was one thing that I think I liked about the idea of the program, is that it was instantly biodegradable. It didn't have to be biodegraded. Very, very non-toxic is kind of
I think
one of
that's
the
an excellent idea, because that's
many
what a lot of
corporations,
people are worried
they're
about
coming out with
now.
green products,
Yeah.
whether it's good for the planet, and this will fall into that category. So that's another good reason for popularity, I
Yep.
found out.
It's the most important thing is the convenience.
That's right.
Absolutely convenient. you
Once
know.
a month.
Once a month, it's a pill, it's effective, and so it's really, it is truly a breakthrough product.
Could you use this on a horse, on horses or other animals like that?
No.
No,
not-
okay.
And it's not effective against ticks.
Okay.
Only
It actually
fleas.
sterilizes the flea. I mean, so that I guess it's a different body chemistry that a tick.
Okay.
Tick is more of an arachnid, as a flea is more of an insect.
Because I knew you had that tick collar that you were carrying.
That was a new collar called Preventic that had an active ingredient called amitraz that was very specific for ticks. In fact, that collar would kill ticks but would not kill
Kill
fleas.
fleas,
That's
yes,
right.
I knew, I was thinking
So
that.
they're getting much more specific in their, instead of just having the shotgun that kills everything, it might even kill your dog too.
Right.
Now they're getting very specific and getting products that will kill only fleas or only ticks, and so you can actually custom design a control program.
So that kind of gets us into what we're going into in the future, wellness for the animal. And that's what you're doing.
Oh, yeah,
with
no, this
Angel
is
too?
preventive medicine is what it is, as well as controlling an existing problem, but then it's preventive medicine. It should be given year-round, really. Now, in this part of the country where the flea is much more of a problem in the spring, summer, and fall, but still, if there are households where there are
That's
fleas
right. I
and
was
your
just thinking about
and
that.
your pet comes in contact with that, they can get adult fleas. So even though it can be given, and probably very effectively for many households, 6 months out of the year, to give it year-round is perfectly safe, and it can really ensure that, that it is effective.
Because I remember you were telling me that if you have a nice warm house, fleas will live there all through
You're
the
right.
winter.
It's like
Yeah.
a big Bermuda
Yeah.
vacation. It's a great place for fleas to live all year round. I mean, I've also been using the Interceptor and the HeartGuard Plus. Those are the two common kinds of heartworm pills, and more I've been using those all year round. Also, we still check them once a year. Angel still does that too, right?
Yes, it's recommended that
Always test.
the
once
blood
a
be
year.
tested at least once a year, even if you're on year-round heartworm prevention.
But I know we're actually working to help cut down a lot of intestinal parasites with those new heartworm pills. They're good for roundworms and hookworms and whipworms, and I guess slowly but surely we're trying to get a wormless society into our Boston area.